From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. Radio Pilipinas World Service can also be heard on shortwave broadcast through the facilities of the United States Agency for Global Media or Voice of America on the following shortwave frequencies: 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.665 MHz. I'm your host, Leo Magpayo, and this is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is set to travel to the United Arab Emirates or UAE on Monday, January 12th, for a working visit centered on sustainability and economic cooperation. Earlier, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said the President will attend Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, a global forum where world leaders tackle key environmental and development issues. Castro noted that the trip is upon the invitation of UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. During the event, President Marcos is expected to join discussions on major global concerns, including energy transition, water security, finance, food systems, and environmental protection. The President will also witness the signing of two significant agreements between the Philippines and the UAE. The Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, or CEPA, set to become the country's first free trade pact with a Middle Eastern nation, and a Memorandum of Understanding on Defense Cooperation. The CEPA aims to expand market access for Philippine industries, while the Defense Pact is expected to boost collaboration on technology and capability development. Castro said this will be the President's first overseas trip of the year and one that is expected to yield concrete benefits for Filipinos.
Ang working visit ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. ay para sa Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, kung saan tatalakayin ang mga hakbang upang isulong ang global sustainability. Ito'y buhat sa paanyaya ng kagalang-galang na Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan ng United Arab Emirates. Makakasama ng Pangulo ang iba pang heads of state and government ng iba't ibang bansa sa pagtalakay ng mga isyu patungkol sa enerhiya, tubig, usaping pinansyal, pagkain at kalikasan. Maliban dito, nakatakda ring daluhan ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. ang paglagda sa dalawang mahalagang kasunduan sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at United Arab Emirates. Una ay ang Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement o CEPA at ang Memorandum of Understanding on Defense Cooperation. Ang CEPA ang kauna-unahang free trade agreement ng Pilipinas sa isang bansa mula sa Middle East na naglalayong palawakin ang market access ng ating bayan sa gitnang silangan. Samantala, ang Defense Cooperation Memorandum naman ay siyang magsisilbing matatag na pundasyong pakikipagtulungan sa UAE para paunlarin ang defense technologies ng ating bansa. Buo ang paniniwala ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. na magiging makabuluhan at kapaki-pakinabang para sa sambayanang Pilipino ang kanyang papalapit na pagbisita sa Abu Dhabi.
Was Palace Press Officer Attorney Claire Castro.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang is downplaying talk of an impeachment move against Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., calling the rumors unsubstantiated and is insisting the president remains focused on governance and delivering results for the nation. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro issued the clarification following remarks from Caloocan 2nd District Representative Edgar Erice, who suggested that an impeachment complaint might be filed once Congress resumes session on January 26. Castro said the claims appear to stem from supporters of a certain politician, adding that the administration will not be sidetracked by speculation or political noise. She emphasized that President Marcos continues to respect constitutional processes and expects lawmakers to act based on facts, the law, and national interest. Reports have also surfaced about a possible impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte when the House reconvenes. Representative Erice, however, said he does not intend to support any complaint. He noted that if a case is filed, he plans to raise clarificatory questions before the House Committee on Justice, which is mandated by Supreme Court rulings to first determine whether an impeachment complaint meets the required form and substance. Erice did not name the lawmakers allegedly preparing the complaints, though betrayal of public trust was mentioned as a possible ground. Under the 1987 Constitution, the President may be impeached for a culpable violation of the Constitution, treason, bribery, graft and corruption, other high crimes, or betrayal of public trust.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang has revealed that Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is scheduled to attend around 483 public engagements in 2026. Palace Press Officer and Presidential Communications Office, or PCO Undersecretary Claire Castro, clarified that this figure covers public events only and does not yet include private meetings or other critical presidential activities that the president must attend throughout the year. Castro questioned why some groups continue to claim that the president is not doing anything despite his packed official schedule. She emphasized that all of the president's activities are regularly posted on social media to keep the public informed. Yet, she noted, there are still individuals who choose to ignore what is plainly visible in order to elevate the public image of the political figures they support.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has declared a series of special non-working days across the country to give way to local celebrations and historic commemorations. Under Proclamation No. 1125, February 23rd has been designated a special non-working day in Baguio City in honor of Ibaloy Day, celebrating the heritage and culture of the Ibaloy people of the Cordillera region. In Lipa City, Batangas Province, January 20th has been declared a special non-working day through Proclamation 1120 for the city's annual Coffee Festival, highlighting Batangas' long-standing tradition of producing Arabica and Robusta coffee. Over in Carigara, Leyte Province, Proclamation 1121 sets January 26 as a special non-working day in lieu of January 25th, which falls on a Sunday, to allow residents to join the town's 455th founding anniversary. Meanwhile, Bulacan Province will observe a special non-working day on January 23rd under Proclamation 1122. Marking the anniversary of the inauguration of the First Philippine Republic at the historic Baraswain Church in Malolos. The first republic, established on January 23, 1899, is recognized as Asia's first constitutional republic. In Pagadian City, Zamboanga del Sur Province, Proclamation 1123 declares January 19th a special non-working day for the Pasalamat Festival 2026, a week-long Thanksgiving celebration featuring religious rites, street dancing, parades, trade fairs, and cultural showcases. The declaration was issued upon the request of the city government to ensure full community participation. President Marcos signed Proclamations 1120 to 1123 on December 23, 2025.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos said improvements to the Pasig River Esplanade are steadily taking shape, following an interagency meeting on the planned turnover of kiosks along the walkway. In a social media post after the meeting held at the Centro de Turismo Intramuros, the First Lady expressed confidence in the project's direction, noting consistent progress in efforts to make the riverside space more inviting to the public. According to the First Lady, government agencies tackled practical steps to enhance the visitor experience, from better kiosk organization and stronger support for local vendors to ensuring safety and cleanliness throughout the riverfront. Marcos stressed that the goal is to build a public space that balances livelihood opportunities with accessibility and order, while creating an environment that residents and visitors will want to return to. The Pasig River Esplanade forms part of the administration's wider initiative to rehabilitate the historic waterway and transform it into a vibrant public and tourism corridor. Earlier phases of the project focused on river cleanup, flood mitigation, and the redevelopment of walkways and open spaces along key stretches of the river. The Esplanade is envisioned as a people-centered urban destination that encourages cultural activities, tourism, and small businesses while contributing to the long-term restoration of the Pasig River.
Dateline Malacañang.
Still on the First Lady, Philippine First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, together with Department of Migrant Workers or DMW Secretary Hans Leo and Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA Administrator P.Y. Kaunan, led the official opening of the Bagong Bayani ng Mundo OFW Serbisyo Caravan Leg 3 over the weekend at the Conrad Hotel in Dubai. The event was attended by His Excellency Alfonso Ferdinand Ver, Consul General Ambrosio Brian Enciso III, and representatives from 9 government agencies in line with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive to bring fast, efficient, and compassionate government services closer to overseas Filipino workers in a country that hosts one of the largest Filipino populations in the United Arab Emirates. In his message, Secretary Kakdak emphasized that the OFW Serbisyo Caravan is not merely about processing documents, but a concrete demonstration of the government's concern for the health and welfare of migrant workers. During the caravan, more than 100 OFW patients received assistance through Migrant Workers Office or MWO Dubai and OWA, including OFWs battling cancer, supported by the DMW Action Fund, OWA's eCares, SSS Disability Benefits, and the First Lady's Lab for All medical programs, in partnership with the Office of the President, Presidential Action Center or PACE. The Servicio Caravan also showcased e-government services led by Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT Secretary Henry Aguda as part of the government's digitalization efforts. These include the OFW Pass integrated into eGovPH, online employment contract verification, and the Kumusta Kabayan app. According to the DMW, these initiatives continue to advocacy of red carpet, not red tape, and the legacy of the late Secretary Susan Toots Ople, ensuring that every OFW is treated with dignity, protected, and supported by a reliable government wherever they may be in the world.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, Philippine House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos highlighted that in just 22 session days of the 20th Congress, the House of Representatives has already approved 12 out of the 48 Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council or LEDAC priority bills of the administration. Among the 12 LEDAC measures already past final reading are Electric Power Industry Reform Act amendments to strengthen the Energy Regulatory Commission's oversight and consumer protection powers, Waste-to-Energy Bill on Waste Treatment Technology, National Center for Geriatric Health, amendments to the Government Assistance to Students and Teachers in Private Education Act, Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situations Act, amendments to the National Building Code, Blue Economy Act, National Reintegration Bill, amendments to the Teachers Professionalization Act, extension of the estate tax amnesty period, Department of Water Resources Bill, and the amendments to the Bank Deposit Secrecy Law. Marcos said that under the leadership of Speaker Faustino D. III, the Chamber aims to show unity and seriousness in advancing the measures identified by the LEDAC. 5 LEDAC bills have also cleared their respective committees and are now being tackled by the Committees on Appropriations and Ways and Means. These include the proposed modernization of the Bureau of Immigration, the National Land Use Act, the Independent People's Commission, the Presidential Merit Scholarship Program, and amendments to the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. Meanwhile, 15 bills remain under technical working groups and committee deliberations, while 17 more are set for full committee hearings. Once Congress returns from recess, the House leadership aims to push more measures related to social protection, health, education, and good governance, moving them from technical working group briefings to plenary debates. Marcos added that LEDAC is not a separate track from the people's priorities, noting that these bills directly affect classrooms, hospitals, barangay halls, rice prices, and jobs. He also reported that out of 7,030 bills and 645 resolutions filed in the chamber, 86 have been approved and are now awaiting action from the Senate.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, on Monday said that despite the reduction to their budget this year, the agency will prove that they will build and repair more infrastructures compared to the previous years. In his first press briefing of the year, DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon said that despite the significant decrease in funding from around 880 billion last year to just over 500 billion this 2026, the agency will prove through the support of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. that they will do it better, faster, and at an even lower cost. Dizon added that this is the challenge that the agency will try to accomplish this year.
bumaba ng malaki ang pondo ng DPWH ngayon from 880 billion, 500 plus billion na lang. Pero ngayong taon na to, and ito, talaga paulit-ulit kong sasabihin sa inyo to, kahit na bumaba ang budget ng DPWH, papatunayan natin, dahil sa suporta at tulong ng ating Pangulo, papatunayan natin na kahit mababa ang budget ng DPWH kumpara sa ibang mga taon, mas marami tayong magagawa, mas marami tayong maaayos, mas marami tayong mare-repair, at gagawin natin ng maayos, ng tama, ng mabilis, at ng mas mura pa. Mas mababa pa ang budget. So yun ang papatunayan natin ngayon na kapag ang pera ng taong bayan sa DPWH hindi ninanakaw, mas marami tayong magagawa, mas mababa ang presyo, mas mabilis at mas maganda pa ang quality. So yun ang challenge na imi-meet natin this year. At hopefully, sa mga susunod na taon na kahit na wala na kami dito, wala na si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, tuloy-tuloy na ang pagbabago dito sa DPWH. No? So yun ang ating goal at yun ang papatunayan natin, hindi lang ngayong taon, kundi sa mga susunod pang taon.
That was Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Vince Dizon.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, alert status remains elevated over Mayon volcano as it continues to exhibit heightened volcanic activity. According to the latest monitoring of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, the volcano is still producing lava from its summit dome, along with a steady, slow-moving lava flow down its slopes. Within a 24-hour observation period, PHIVOLCS recorded 133 rockfall events, indicating ongoing collapse of portions of the lava dome. The agency also documented 37 pyroclastic density currents, or PDCs, dangerous, fast-moving mixtures of ash, rocks, and hot gases rushing down the volcano's flanks. A persistent weak tremor was also detected, suggesting continued magma movement beneath the surface. A crater glow remains visible, signaling intense heat at the summit, while a moderate volcanic plume rose as high as 800 meters above the crater. Despite these developments, Mayon volcano remains under Alert Level 3, which signifies a high level of unrest and the possibility of a hazardous eruption.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service can be heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.665 MHz. Radyo Pilipinas World Service is also live on audio streaming. Just download eVox PBS Receiver on your Google Play Store or the App Store from your Apple phone. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Just type in and search for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.